All right, so here we go. Let's go to the chat room. Jonathan writes in, how do I ask for a raise? I have exceeded expectations on my reviews for the past few years. I'm a top performer, but my boss won't give raises beyond the minimum annual raise of a few cents. Well, see, this is one where I wish you would call the show, Jonathan, because my advice, it might be a little bit different if I knew some of the nuances here. And the nuances I'm referring to is, you say your boss won't give raises beyond the minimum annual raise. So that tells me there's a track record of either denying raise requests or just simply there's some sort of policy or unwritten, unsaid rule around the office for you to say that. So that's an uphill battle that's very, very difficult to just go in and go, hey, I'd like a raise. I've been a top performer. So I don't know the nuances here, so I'm just going to give you my standard advice when somebody says, Ken, how do I ask for a raise? Number one, don't ask for a raise. Number two, ask for a growth plan. So at Ramsey Solutions, everybody has an annual review based on your anniversary when you started. And so you sit down, you look at your key responsibility areas, and you go through feedback and all kinds of things. When I say that you need to ask for a growth plan, not ask for a raise, it simply means you go in and you say, hey, I would love for you to give me a review on what I've been doing so far based on the expectations that have been communicated to me. How am I doing on my overall performance? Then you would ask for them to identify maybe some skills that you can sharpen. This is a positive growth thing. What are some skills you can sharpen or add to make you more valuable? So they see you going, I want to be more valuable. That's essentially what you're saying to them, but you're asking them for input and feedback. So it gives them engagement. Okay. Then you want to say, based on those answers, okay, is that something the company would pay for or I'll pay for? That's fine. You come up with a real plan. Okay, I'm going to go do these things. I'm going to sharpen or add skills. Then you say, hey, I would like to increase my responsibilities, my influence. I want to do more. I want to be challenged to do more, add more value to the company. Again, it shows hunger and even humility because you've not talked about money at all. And then you say, hey, I'd like to come up with a plan for what growth looks like for me. More influence, more responsibility. And then obviously with that and then what are the measurements? And then we talk money. You say, based on this growth plan, I would love to see what the financial growth could look like based on the measuring of my growth. That is a more holistic way of getting to the same thing that you're looking for, which is increased compensation. It also, the way you do it that way, it allows that leader a little bit more breathing room to engage in the conversation, maybe set up a separate meeting where they've got input and they don't feel like they're being put in a corner of yes or no, I want a raise. Because that puts a leader in a situation where they're kind of like, okay, let's talk about a growth plan. Okay. The other thing that's going to do for you is if you do it the way I just laid that out with a spirit of gratitude and humility, that's the key, then you're going to find out if you're in a really healthy organization or if you're working for a healthy leader. Because if they don't respond positively to that, there's bigger issues. And that's your sign it's time to look elsewhere.